Good evening, everyone. I hope you are having a wonderful Memorial Day and Memorial Day weekend. And summer is here, so we have four awesome scents in the summer collection from Damn Yankee this year. And we're going to be talking all about them. And it's right on the heels of a really another awesome collection. If you haven't tried the copyright cowboy collection here, there's three awesome scents that's still available. And we're going to be telling you all about those as well. But we're going to bring on my good friend Pete here. Pete, we've been acquainted for many years at this point, and I
Yeah.
really love how creative you are with your scents. You can tell it's a labor of love, and you don't mind trying things that are different and unique spins. And these are unique, but they are very good. There's nothing for me that's really out of the normal kind of lane. Sometimes you like doing things that are way out there. These are pretty normal scents. I think a lot of people are going to dig them.
Well, that's good. Yeah, I mean, I try not to. Yeah, I know I kind of have that reputation sometimes of doing stuff that's kind of out there. Hopefully, these are not too out of the wheelhouse. So I try to put in a little something for everybody this time around.
Yeah, and Pete trimmed his beard. How did that come about? Was that a big to
Oh
do?
yeah, that's right. Um, so it was just time. I'm going to be in the pool a lot this summer. So the chlorine and everything else, the maintenance was getting to be a lot. And plus I'd had it that way for 5 years, so it was just kind of time for a change. And so I went in, and I hadn't been to a barber, and I couldn't tell you the last time. And went in, and they snip, and then I came out looking like this.
Nice. Were you happy with
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, I mean, I think they did a pretty good job. There were maybe a couple of things that I would change, but it's grayer than I remember. But I'm pretty happy with it. Yeah, I mean, so far so good. Yeah, the weirdest thing so far, right? Because a lot of you might remember, some of you may remember, it was about down to my chest before,
Mm-hmm.
and every time I got in the car and I put my seatbelt over me, I had to like get it out from my seatbelt. So I still find myself reaching to get it out of my seatbelt. There's nothing there. Um, but yeah, I'm liking it.
I remember when I had my beard as long as I ever had it. When I started to turn over in the middle of the night and my beard would be under my shoulder, like that was the end. I had to cut it after that. Anyway,
Yeah.
guys, let's get into some of these scents here. So we've got four scents. We've got Kona to Tapachi, and I'm not sure if I'm saying that right.
Right.
Um, what is the other one here? To read it, Pacifico and Ocho Rios. So you got a
Yeah.
nice blend of some different kind of tropical vibes here to go over with you guys. And as always, you can save 15% with my affiliate code Banjo15. That is ready to rock and roll. And I just want to make sure we were good with the rest of this stuff. I think we might do a little giveaway or two here. So make sure you stay tuned for that. And then
Yeah.
if I remember right, the free shipping is at the $30 mark is what it says under your shipping tab. Is that correct?
Um, oh, sorry. I think it's 35 actually.
Okay.
But I will verify. Yeah, everything has gone up
Oh, I
this
know.
year, as you probably know, including shipping. So it's we try to balance that against the cost that it keeps to keep this thing up and running, and so we've had to go up a little bit, but I tried to keep it minimal.
Yeah, that's reasonable. It's pretty easy to spend $35. So I changed my little graphic there. So free shipping with a $35 purchase after you use the discount before you add tax is how those free shipping things usually go. And we'll go over the prices and all that kind of stuff coming up. But let's talk about one of these scents. Which one do you want to go over first, Pete?
Probably the one that is the most over home plate, just in terms of being not out there, is probably Pacifico. And Pacifico is coconut lemongrass, and Pacifico is it means peaceful in Spanish, so that's kind of the vibe I was going for. Was kind of a spa thing. So it's light. I would say, to me, it's definitely more leaning more to the lemongrass than it is the coconut. So if you don't like coconut, I know a lot of people don't. Never fear. I pick up a lot more lemongrass personally than I do coconut. But so that was the inspiration. Is kind of your kind of spa resort, kind of clean. I would call it a clean scent.
It is. I wore this one today, and uh, I'm not a fan of lemongrass, but I actually like this because the
Mhm,
coconut kind of mellowed it out, smoothed it out, and it made it a little creamier.
mhm.
I like coconut. My wife does not like coconut scents when I wear them in my beard. I get like a
Yeah.
60-40, like 60% or 60 or 70% even on the lemongrass when you put it on.
Mhm.
And then after a couple of hours, it starts to go the other way. And by the end, you're getting more of the coconut. For me, is what went
Yeah.
on a little bit longer than the lemongrass.
Well, and the other thing too was that this is one of the ones. I mean, Brian, that I've been leaning toward. Kind of unisex scents the
Mm.
last couple of years in some things that are not specifically masculine or feminine, so that the bearded guys, that have wives or female partners can maybe they can share some of the bath stuff. Or so I tried to make at least one scent this time out that can really be used by anyone.
Ellie uses fresh basil and lemongrass on your skin. Nothing wrong with that.
Nice.
So let's talk about the different products you can get these in. It's pretty much the full lineup here, and we'll talk about the prices. So you've got two different options for the oil blend. You've got the Sterling and the original, and I'll tell you the difference in those in just a second. But $17.49 for the original oil blend, and then the Sterling's $1 more, $18.49. You get a 2-ounce butter for $12.99. A 1-ounce balm for those people that's like, I want to get a combo, but I don't want to get a bunch of balm I'm not going to use. You can do 1-ounce bombs for $10.49. There are combos available. I didn't put all of that on there because it would be too long of a list, but there's a drop down menu. You can pick a oil butter or an oil balm kind of combo if you wish. Uh,
Yeah.
Washing conditioner as well, and these kind of tropical scents go great in the shower, I think. So 8-ounce
Yeah.
wash, $18.98. 8-ounce conditioner, $19.95. If you're not sure about the scents, you can get just a little sample pack there of, I'd say there's like 2 grams,
Mhm.
maybe something like that. Is
Yeah.
12.59, and then I've got wrong shipping on there. Free shipping should be 35. Let me change that really quickly.
Yeah, this particular scent, Pacifico, I actually had a couple of summers ago, and I intended it to be originally a body wash scent.
Hmm,
So
that'll work
that's
well.
kind of how it started. Um, and I just, so I've been using it off and on, and I wasn't sure what I was going to do with it, and I never quite stopped thinking about it the last couple of years. I would always find myself thinking about, what am I going to do with that coconut lemongrass, because I really liked it. And so here we go. We just made it a beard scent.
Awesome. Yeah, and Pete's prices are cheaper than most of the companies out there for sure. I know
Yeah,
you've had to go up a little bit, but I still think you're under where
I
you
hope
could
so.
be.
I mean, it's
Uh-oh.
yeah. I mean, it's never been my aim to, um, I want to make it accessible to everyone, and it's never been my aim to really just rake people over the coals with the prices. I try to keep it, reasonable.
Awesome. Let's talk about a different scent. Which one you want to do next?
Oh, probably for me, one of the most unusual this year, for me was probably Kona, right? Because you don't see a lot of coffee scents this time of year. And I kind of mulled it over, and so I've been drinking this coconut coffee in the mornings for the last couple of months, and it's really, really good. I kind of make these coconut mocha kind of iced coffees in the morning, and it occurred to me that I have these fragrances here in house. I've got a really nice espresso, and I've got a really nice kind of creamy coconut that's not too sweet. Um, and I just arrived at a mixture of those two things that I really liked. So it's if you don't like coffee scents, I wouldn't say it's too coffee forward. I mean, it's definitely in there, but it's not. I don't think it's overpowering. But so I wanted to do like a coconut coffee scent, and I'm really happy with the way it turned out. You may not think summertime is like a coffee kind of scent time, but we'll see. We'll see how people respond to it.
This is the only one I haven't had a chance to wear yet because I just got this like a couple of days ago. I'm not the
Yeah, yeah,
user.
sorry, but
I'm not a fan of coffee scents in beard products. It's just not my thing. But you definitely
yeah,
get kind of the traditional coffee, and I'm warming it up so I can check it out since I haven't worn it in my beard.
yeah,
It definitely takes a left turn after you warm it up. That it's not quite so much coffee forward, and some of the
yeah.
other stuff starts kind of blending through there a little bit creamier. So that's a neat spin on the coffee scent.
We'll see. I mean, we'll see how people respond to it. I mean, this is not the traditional time of year to release a coffee scent, and I kind of mulled it over for a while, but I decided to put it out there anyway because I like it. But we'll see. We'll see what people think.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you, Russ. Russ shared the stream several times leading up to this. And Kona coffee is a light scent. Yes. I actually, last year I went to Kona and got some. We didn't buy Kona coffee. We tried some, but it was really expensive. So we actually
Mm.
got chocolate covered coffee beans that were Kona.
Oh, nice.
They were
Yeah,
very nice.
I learned the hard way. I learned the hard way. You got to take it easy on those because, like, you think of them like raisinets, and then like half hour later when you're when you're shaking and nervous. But anyway,
Yeah. Makes you twitch a little bit. Yeah, he doesn't like food or coffee scent. So we'll find something here for you from Pete. I don't know what you've tried lately there, E. If you've tried the Copyright Cowboy collection, we'll talk about that in a minute. That might be a little bit more your jam
mhm.
for sure. All right, so cool. That's two of them.
Yeah.
Nice. And let's see, we got 18 people in here. I saw it up to 21 earlier, which is pretty cool. Guys, let us know if you
Mm.
have any questions about anything. Remember, you can save with the code BANJO15. You can get the full line of products, or if you're not sure about them, then just pick up the little sample collection there. And I think
Yeah, for sure.
something there was going to hook you. So I think you'll have a return customer if you at least try
Yeah.
them out. What do you want to do next?
Let's do Ocho Rios because this is kind of this should be if you've bought Yankee stuff before, this shouldn't be too unfamiliar.
I think this was
But
my
Ocho
favorite one.
Rios.
I think this
Oh,
one's
you
my
like that
favorite.
one?
Yep.
Okay. So Ocho Rios is mango and coriander. And so it's definitely got a nice mango hit to it. So it's got that fruity aspect. And the coriander kind of gives it well, I mean, in the business, you would call it like a green note, right? Like
Hmm.
an herbal kind of note that's pretty nice. It's hopefully not unfamiliar, but at the same time, not something you smell every day.
What's the significance of the name Ocho Rios?
Um, it's just it's a Ocho Rios is a place in Jamaica, and they're kind of famous for they have a
Pinhead.
waterfall there that you can actually climb up. So it's kind of one of the things that they're known for. But just the mango aspect of it. Of course, mango is huge in a lot of parts of the world, but the Caribbean. Um, so I, I I originally was just going to name it Mango Coriander, and Mrs. Yankee was very insistent that we not name it Mango Coriander. So she wanted a little bit more creativity than that.
It is a special collection, right? So it makes sense.
Right, exactly.
And good question here. So, wouldn't coriander smell almost spicy? It does not smell spicy. It's more of a green note, which actually gives it more authenticity. If you've never tried peat stuff, like when you hear whatever you hear in the scent profile, it smells like that authentically. It's not like some worked up fragrance. You might use
Mhm.
fragrance oils to get there, but Pete really prides himself in having authentic smelling scents that doesn't smell like a
Yeah.
perfume bottle, if you will.
If
So,
it
yeah.
if it clarifies it all, so it coriander in the U.S. you'd hear it called cilantro a lot more than coriander. Coriander is what they call it in most other parts of the world, but here in the U.S. we call it cilantro. So, um, if you've ever made like a salsa or something like that that use cilantro, you kind of know the smell of that.
Yeah, so it's more like a fresh mango salsa, if you will. There you go.
Yeah. The funny thing is, talking about the fragrance oils, a lot of these are fragrance oils, so they're synthetics. But as a matter of fact, I just reorganized the office a couple weeks ago, and I threw away probably at least 50 or 60 fragrance samples just because I can't use them. It's not that they smell bad. It's just that I can't use them for what I do.
Yeah,
And
they don't match your style.
yeah, it just, either it smells like just kind of artificial, or it. I try to keep. I try to be fairly discerning in what I put out in terms of, not smelling like some granny perfume or a candle, so I try to make it, even if it is a synthetic, I try to at least make it smell realistic.
You do a great job with that for sure. Yeah.
Well, thank
So
you.
he doesn't like anything that's got food stuff in it. So mango salsa, yuck. Mango salsa on a good piece of fish is hard to beat.
And then the last one this
Oh,
summer
the last one.
is
Nice.
it's called tapache. Tapache is it's a drink from Mexico that, yeah, there you go. Tapache um, is kind of, it's pineapple and cinnamon basically. There's some other stuff going on there as well, but it's a pineapple drink from Mexico that you can get in some parts of the U.S. Um, you can get it easily here in Texas, of course, just because of proximity. But um, it's a really unusual profile, but it works for me. It works anyway. You wouldn't think of putting cinnamon and pineapple together, but for me, it works.
Yeah, I thought it worked as well. I did. Now that you say cinnamon, I get the cinnamon on it. I was getting some spices, but I was getting
Yeah.
more of the whatever else you put in there made the pineapple smell a little bit more like the like a pineapple truck. I know it's
Yeah.
not cut open
Um,
pineapple. It's a little bit more. It's a little bit more rugged and earthy and hardy.
yeah, it's a little bit of nutmeg and a little bit of ginger. Um, so, yeah, I kind of, it's an ongoing joke around here that we've released a pineapple scent, at least one, every summer since we started 5 years ago. And by the way, here in about 2 weeks, we'll have been open for 5 years. So,
Hey,
um,
congratulations!
yeah, so I appreciate everyone who's a lot of you have been with us for all that time, and we're super appreciative. But yeah, we've done a pineapple scent every summer since we opened, and so this summer was no exception. And so this one, it may sound kind of out there, but when you try it, you'll maybe get where we were coming from with that.
Yeah. And Mark, you definitely need some Damn Yankee in your lineup. So, yeah, so we'll talk about some of the other scents here and maybe do one of your little giveaways here in just a second. But Joe's got a good
Yeah.
question. How similar are the train station and Viking? Is one more woodsy? I know that the train station is very woodsy. I loved it. It's one of the best
Mhm.
woodsy scents I've come across in a long time. But it's spruce, cedar,
Yeah.
cardamom, and anise. Um,
Yeah.
so you kind of get, you almost get just a little bit like if you like Christmas tree kind of sense because it's more of an evergreen spruce kind of stuff is in there.
Mhm.
But then it doesn't scream Christmas or anything like that. But you got the
Yeah.
cardamom and anise in it, which is like black licorice kind of vibe to it.
Mhm.
And I haven't tried the Viking, so you have to talk about that one.
It's that's a really good question. And the element that they both share is that spruce essential oil. I mean, you know that I've loved black spruce for years and years, and to me, that is kind of the quintessential smells like a tree oil. So Viking AF and Train Station share the same spruce note. The biggest difference is going to be that Viking AF has some leather in it, and it also has a little bit of a sea salt note as well. Um, so that's going to be the biggest difference. Just kind of high level, I would call Train Station a little bit more kind of woodsy and spicy. Viking is more. It's kind of hard to describe that scent, man. There's a lot going on in there, but it's a little woodsy, a little bit leather as well. Leather is the big difference.
Awesome. Yeah, that sounds like one I would like to. So we got Mark. He ordered for the first time tonight, which is cool.
Thank you so
He got
much. I
he
hope
got a
you like it.
he got a couple of combos. And Tommy asked, "How long is the code good for?" Until Pete pulls my code. This was the first affiliate I ever had. Pete just
Yeah.
messaged me out of the blue. Would you like to be an affiliate? And I told him no. I had to go back and think about it because I hadn't. I had done the YouTube stuff for about 2 years at that point and hadn't started doing affiliates or anything like that.
Yeah,
But
you hurt my pride, man. You
I
turned me
it,
down at
that
first.
was more. It was me. It wasn't you. It's not you. It's me, as the saying goes. But I came back
So
and rethought it. But I had to think about it because you're representing somebody's brand, but also the, I wanted this to still be a hobby because it was a hobby to make videos
yeah,
for all that and not to become a slave to the YouTube machine, the
yeah.
algorithm, as the saying
The,
goes.
the the short answer to that question is that Brian and I have been working together on this for almost since the beginning. So we've been doing this a while, and so God willing, the creek don't rise. We'll keep this going for a while yet.
Yeah, and so it's such a unique place, and you've got your own lane in a way in the community, just because of how authentic your scent smell and how unique and creative you are when it comes from packaging and scents and everything else that you do. Just a lot of really cool creative stuff. So I always
Well, I
appreciated
appreciate
that.
that. I try to do some different stuff, and 'cause that was kind of our that's kind of a foundational idea for this little company is that we didn't set out to be like everybody else. I mean, we wanted to do things a little bit differently. So who knows? Maybe the fall I'll release an entire collection of unscented stuff. You never know.
The best unscented on the market. All right, Tommy's got a question about samples. Yes, samples are
Mhm.
available, which
Yeah.
we love samples. So if you want a sample of the summer collection, is probably if you're like, "Oh, I want to try a couple of those, you're probably better off just buying the whole 4 pack. Is going to be your
Yeah.
better deal here. So the summer collection is $12.59. You get a 2 gram sample of all 4 scents. And while you're at it, pick up all the samples. You can really figure out what you like here. The Copyright Cowboy. Do you have a
Mhm.
collection of that? Yeah. So the Copyright Cowboy, there's 3 scents there. We'll talk about those in more detail because it's another limited, you can get all 3 of those scents for $10.99. So there's your 7 cents you can get for
Mhm.
$25 or something like that. And then all of these other ones, I think there are individual samples. Oh, if you have not tried the Carnival of Souls, guys, it stays around year round, and I love these scents, Midway especially, and kettle corn. I did not think I would like kettle corn, but I love kettle corn in this beard scent. Something about the little bit of salty and sweet mixed together. I love it. But you can
Yeah.
pick out that's a 3 pack too that you can get samples of. You're like, let me try these out. Midway's like a caramel apple kind of scent, kind of a
Mhm.
dark caramel apple. It's super good. Churros is like a churro, so it's your cinnamon kind of stuff. But you can
Yeah.
get that for $9.99 for that pack. And then any of these
Yeah.
other scents, you can just click into one of the scents, like cedar tobacco vanilla, which is
Mhm.
one of my all-time favorite scents. And just the drop-down menu,
Yeah.
there's a little 2 dram sample you can add for $2.99. So you can do them a la carte
Yeah.
one at a time, or I highly suggest the collections there to pick those up in the sample
Yeah.
packs and just really try it out and then come back and order some more. That Banjo 15 code will still be there for you.
Okay. Yeah, somebody was saying earlier that they don't like food scents, and that's something that we hear on a fairly regular basis. So the best thing I can say to that is that we try to do a little bit of something for everybody, right? Like the whole point of the um, Carnival of Souls was not necessarily to make food sense, but we wanted to do kind of a little bit of a tighter theme on a collection, right? So something that was a little bit more directed. And the theme was, treats that you might find at a carnival. So it's not specifically that they're food sense, but I mean, I get where that person was coming from. Some people don't. And, so we try to put out a little bit of something for everybody. For example, I mean, for years and years, I said that that I don't like cologne scents, so I don't do a lot of cologne scents. But we kept getting requests for it, so You know, I think we put out one with Copyright Cowboy that that's a pretty good one. Rip is a I think a good cologne scent, and should be right over home plate for you guys that like cologne scents. So
Yeah, so that let's go ahead and talk about that copyright cowboy collection of 3 cents. I did a review on that. You can go back and check it out if you wish. But
yeah,
Bunkhouse is red cedar, green tobacco, and leather. And then Rip is a cowboy cologne. But if you want a little bit more into it, it's cedar, tobacco, sandalwood, amber, patchouli, oat moss, musk. And that is the most. That's like your cowboys going into town to the saloon for the evening, getting or to a I don't know, a cowboy funeral or something. I don't know, but it's definitely got a
yeah.
little
If
cologne
you
vibe.
watch the show that's if you watch the show that's based on, when they go into town, it's a lot of beer drinking and butt kicking is kind of what happens when they go into town.
There you go. And then the train station is an awesome woodsy scent. And then I see you got some questions here. So let's see what we have here.
Okay.
Don't sleep on the soap. I agree. The soap is awesome. We'll talk about it in a minute. If you want samples, is this still true here? Jason says if you want samples in the Sterling blend to put it in the notes. Is that still
Yeah,
good?
absolutely. So the sample kits are going to ship with original blend oil. The original blend oil is jojoba, sweet almond, coconut, argan, and broccoli seed. There you go.
You
Um,
know I'll be ready
and
for this.
yeah, and but yeah, I mean, it's not a huge deal. So if you would rather do it in Sterling blend, which is argan, kukui nut, broccoli seed, and castor. Oh, look, I even had it in the right order. Um, then yeah, just put a note on your order saying you'd like to do it in Sterling blend, and because I pour those all by hand. It's not like I make a bunch of them in a row and then have them sitting around. I do most of them, you know, per order. So yeah, just put a note on there. Let me know you want Sterling blend on it. It's not a big deal.
Yeah. And is the hippie hollow scent still available?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. You're gonna have to dig for it a little bit. It's not super popular, but if you scroll down there
There it is.
somewhere, there it is.
Right
Yeah.
next to your favorite, Russ. I know you love some pipe dream, but there's your hippie hollows, peppermint and cannabis. And we'll just talk
Yeah.
about the rest of these scents here that we've got. The pipe dream is pipe tobacco, orange, and vanilla. The Texas AF is, I think, the only one of these I haven't tried. Oak barrel, whiskey, and vanilla.
Mhm.
You got your orange and black peppers, Port Isabel, tobacco bay leaf, old school shaving cream, barbershop scent.
Mhm.
There's another flat white for you coffee lovers, espresso, steamed milk, orange zest. Pawpaw's chair is a fan favorite. That's your pipe, tobacco, and leather.
Yeah.
Pete does a great job on any tobacco scents or anything with cedar in it, and he does a good job with
Mhm.
everything. But those are you've used those scents a lot, and you're kind of known for it. But pipe tobacco and dried fruits is your Cavendish. Beer
Yeah.
Times with Scott had a collab there, which is cedar and Cuban tobacco, which is quite a bit different. It's got that spicy kind of
Mhm.
Cuban tobacco compared to the little bit smoother and sweeter pipe tobacco. And then cedar tobacco vanilla is one of my top 5 all-time scents. I've definitely used it more than just about any other scent. And then pipe
That's
bomb
good.
is pipe tobacco, dark chocolate, and cherry. So there are kind of the mainline scents, if you will.
You know, speaking of Papa's chair, if you scroll up there just a little bit,
Yep, that's
there it
what's
is.
your Pete's pick.
So yeah, so here's the thing. I put up a little section here. Um, so I've smelled most of these scents thousands and thousands of times, and but this is more of an art than a science to doing this, and sometimes batches turn out really really well, like better than they usually do. So I made a little section here for, like, when I have a batch that just came out that is, to me, really exceptional. I'm going to put it up here. So right now we've got a batch of Papa's chair that we made that to me came out probably better than we've done it in the last 2 or 3 years. So this is kind of where I'm putting the scents that to me came out really exceptionally well, after all the hundreds and thousands of times I've smelled some of these. Um, so that's kind of what that's all about.
Yeah, Tommy, I do think the free shipping's always at the $35 mark, so that's
It
always
is.
available to
Yeah.
you. Okay. And sorry if I missed your questions, guys. I'll try to scroll back through. So the scent strength, I would say most of Pete's scents are medium or just slightly higher than medium. So definitely more than 4 hours for most scents. Now it's going to depend a little bit on which scent and how much you use and how active you
Mhm.
are and how sensitive your nose is to certain things. But I would say it's more on the 6 hours or so. And then like it depends on after that. Is that what you shoot for, Pete, with your 6 to 7 hours, something like that?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's one of those things that, and again, like you said, I mean, there's 100 variables that
Right.
can affect, how long a scent's going to last for you. But in general, that's kind of what we're shooting for. My philosophy on that is, because when I first started doing this a few years ago, and I was trying out other companies, and I tried a couple of other scents from other companies that literally like 12 hours later, I was still smelling it. And to be perfectly honest, it wasn't that it smelled bad, it's just that after 8 9 hours, I kind of wanted a break from it, right?
Makes
and
your
and
nose
so
weary. I always call it makes my nose weary.
yeah, nose blindness, right? And so personally, I don't like a scent that lasts that long. Some people do, um, but yeah, just for me, a good 6 or 7 hours is plenty for me. And also, as you probably know, we're limited by FDA in terms of how much we can put in there and keep it skin safe. So there is a finite amount of essential oil or fragrance that you can put on there and keep it safe for people. So
Have you had to change that over the years, like how much you did on some of your traditional scents that you've offered? Have you had to back down on anything or redo
um
anything?
no, no, well, I will tell you this. I mean, the amount of fragrance that I put in a beard oil does depend a little bit on the scent. Um, but in general, they are all around within half a milliliter of each other.
Okay,
Um,
that's pretty close.
so they're all pretty close. But I try to adjust it a little bit based on if a scent's particularly strong, I'll scale it back just a hair. Um, but on the other side of that, like Port Isabel is a good example, right? So Port Isabel is a mixture of two essential oils. It's a mixture of orange essential oil and black pepper, um, and it does not hit super hard. Um, so out of all the scents that we've made, and it's probably over 100 at this point, I would think, um, that one I've had to use the most. But yeah, it just varies a little bit. But yeah, Brian's right. I think if you get about 6 7 hours out of it, that's what I was going for.
Yeah, and that's what I get for most of them. And just comparing, like I said, comparing them to all these other companies that I've tried over the years, it's definitely medium, just a little bit stronger than medium, at least these days, is what I've
Yeah.
noticed. Yeah. Hey, Scott, good to see you in here. We are releasing, is now available, the four scents for the summer collection, and they are dandies. I haven't worn Kona yet in my beard, but everything else I've worn, and I really enjoyed it. And once again, let's just hit them real quick. Ocho Rios is mango and coriander. That's kind of a fresh coriander, green kind of cilantro kind of scent to go with your mango. Very good. And then we've got Pacifico, which is coconut and lemongrass. And that one starts lemongrass forward. And then for me, that kind of backs off the coconut smoothness, creaminess takes over after a few hours on that. And then we have Tapachi, which is pineapple and some spice in there. Spice being nutmeg and cinnamon. Is that right, Pete?
Nutmeg, cinnamon, and ginger.
And ginger. All right. So
Hmm.
get a little bit of some bite to it with that. And then your Kona is your coffee and coconut cream. Different kind of spin on that.
Hmm.
So we got that. And then we still have the Cowboy, Copyright Cowboy collection. I highly recommend if you like things that are a little bit more rugged and not quite so fruity. You can check those out while they're still available. How much longer are you going to have those available, Pete, you think?
I think probably about mid-June. We're not getting a ton of orders for that collection anymore, so typically that kind of means that it's had its 15 minutes of fame. So I think probably about 2 weeks or so.
I
We
really
should be
liked
done
all
with it.
three of those scents. I really liked all
Oh,
three.
thank you.
Yeah, it was a good job on that. The bunkhouse has got a little bit of leather in there, so that's for me, I'm not a huge leather fan, but it wasn't
The
enough
funny
to.
thing about that one is because I know you've been saying for a while, cedar tobacco vanilla has been one of your favorites. So that one also has cedar and also has tobacco, but it's not the same cedar and it's not the same tobacco that's in CTV.
Hmm.
So it was kind of interesting to do kind of a riff on CTV in that sense, right? That um, it was just kind of a different take on it.
Yeah, that's a good job on that. I definitely smell. It smells different, right? The red cedar and the green tobacco is
Mm,
totally different than the what's your Texas cedar and your pipe tobacco that you use.
yeah,
Were you still want to do a little giveaway of some sort?
yeah. Let's do like an oil and a butter
Okay.
combo.
So oil butter combo. All right. Do
Yeah,
you have any particular way you want to give that away? You want to do a random generator?
random generator works for me.
Random generator works. All right. Everybody got your numbers ready? Before you hit a number, I got to tell you what to pick. And then also, I'm going to let you know that I do the random number stuff a little bit differently, in that if more than one person gets the right number, I go with the second person that gets it. So some people have strategies. I'm going to wait a little bit, but you may be the only person to get the number. If you're the only person to get it, you still win. So you got to figure out how you want to do the strategy here. But we're going to do the numbers 1 through 10, and you can go when you're ready. We'll see what we can do here about giving away an oil and butter. You want it to be from the new collection, or does it matter to you, Pete?
You know what? It is. Let's make it up to them. I mean, I would
Okay,
love it if it was from the new collection, but let's make it any scent that's on the site.
awesome. So go ahead and put your numbers in. I see them coming in. We'll check them out here in about 30 seconds. Do. And I agree with Scott. Pete's definitely the scent master. Yeah, you can smell everything that usually everything he says is in it. You can smell that, and it smells authentic. So, very, very unique thing in today's market. It's a great job on that.
Well, yeah, I mean, I never quite understood the point of putting something in there if you couldn't clearly smell it in the end product, right? Like, and that's not a knock on other companies because everybody's got their own approach, but like, these scents that have like, 8 and 9 different notes to them. Maybe it's just me. Maybe my nose is not that sophisticated, but I just I never quite got the point of all that.
I don't know. I find some that really work, and you're like, I can't pick out any of that stuff. But whatever picture they are trying to paint, I get that picture sometimes. So it's kind of interesting
Right.
what they do to get there. All right, well, I'll put some dots here. And we're going to cut off the numbers at this point, and we'll see who wins. All right, so we're going to numbers 1 through 10. And if more than one person gets the right answer, we're going with the second person to get it. And the number was 8. And let me start scrolling through here. I see an 8, bearded, brooding, tattooed, had it. And then, Tommy Robinette was the second person on my screen to get it. So he is the winner. Tommy Robinette, congratulations.
Yay! Yeah.
Yay. Let us know what scent you're going to pick because I'm curious about that. And Tommy, let me know, are you on IG? You can reach out to Pete that way. If not, we can get you the email address. I think he might be on IG if I remember right. But congratulations.
Yeah. Yeah. Just DM me on Instagram, or failing that, you can also do support at damnyankeebeard.com. That is also me.
You don't have your own support team?
And again, I mean, this is not a knock on other companies, but it just because I was thinking about that earlier in the week, and you know, when you DM Damn Yankee or email Damn Yankee, it it, it comes straight. I can't afford a team. I'm my own team, so and I don't know. I like hearing from people, good and bad, and so I enjoy interacting with people. So don't be afraid to reach out, and if you have questions or comments, that's why I'm here. So feel free to
Yeah,
reach out anytime.
that's awesome. That's the best thing about these small batch companies and small batch beard care. You actually get to
Yeah,
interact with the owner, and some people just really enjoy that. It's part of what makes this community a community. So very,
yeah.
very cool.
I well, and I never. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I want Damn Yankee to be successful, but I never want to be so big that people feel like they're dealing with like a giant, faceless corporation. I never wanted that. So, I mean, I want to be successful, but not at the expense of customer experience. So,
Exactly. You got any upcoming things you want to discuss? I don't know how much you've got planned.
um, yeah, I mean, we've got, well, I mean, of course, on the beard side, at the end of summer, we've got kind of our the meat and potatoes of our entire year, which is going to be the autumn collection. And I've been teasing this for a while, so it's not a huge secret. But this summer or this fall, we're going to do a second iteration of the back to school collection, which was the Potter stuff. Um,
Yes.
so yeah, so we're going to do a whole new collection of Potter things this fall. So it was by far the biggest selling collection that we've ever done in 5 years. And like when I say by far, I mean like nothing else has even come close. Um, so what I'm struggling with now, and what we haven't quite arrived at yet, is I'm also thinking about, in addition to the new iteration of the collection, I'm also thinking about re-releasing the old collection as well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and that may be a huge mistake. I haven't figured that out yet, but like that may make me, super crazy and busy in the month of October. But anyway, so for those of you who bought into that collection, oh, was that 2020 or 21? It's 21, wasn't it? I don't remember.
I don't
But
remember. The years are flying by now.
yeah, they really are. So we're going to revisit the Potter stuff this fall, and then we're also going to be launching an entirely new venture later this summer that's not related to anything bearded at all. It's actually going to be an apparel venture, um, but nothing. It's nothing I can really definitively tell you about just yet, but it'll be here before the end of the summer.
Gotcha. Um, for the fall collection, is there any way you could do like soaps and body washes or bath bombs or something like that? I thought that would be cool for the whole
I can do
family.
body washes. Yeah, there will definitely be body washes. If I'm being super honest, the bar soaps, when we're out of what we have, we're getting rid of those once those are gone. They just haven't really done that great, and the people that like them, and that's great. For me, they have not really been great movers. So yeah, we'll do some Potter Bath and Body stuff. But yeah, the bar soaps are on the way out here fairly shortly.
I thought they were super good.
Well, I appreciate it. I mean, it ticked a lot of boxes for me, right? Like it was important that they be natural, right? So I mean, there's nothing. You can see the ingredients on that label. I mean, there's nothing funky in there. There's nothing unpronounceable in there. I mean, it's those bars of soap are about as natural as you can get. But they just haven't, they haven't been a big mover, and frankly, the margin on them is not terrific. So um, we're kind of thinning the herd, as you will. I just made my final candle a few days ago. We were talking about Hippie Hollow a little earlier, and yeah, the final candle that I made was in Hippie Hollow scent. So that was kind of for me a poetic ending to that run, was to do it in the scent that's probably most personal to me.
That's awesome. Yeah, they really good
Yeah.
candles too. It made me sad when I saw that. Tommy, my favorite summer scent here is the Ocho Rios, which is the mango and fresh coriander cilantro scent. I really like that. I liked it better than I thought because I don't like eating mango at all. But the scent totally worked for me in my beard. It's kind of weird how things go sometimes. Like coffee's
Yeah.
the opposite way. I love drinking coffee, but don't usually like it in my beard.
Yeah. 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 And I get that. I mean, we're talking earlier about food sense, and I understand. That's to me. I was as surprised by kettle corn as anybody because I thought it was kind of a wacky idea, and I'm like, "There's no way that's going to work." And I was really kind of shocked that it worked as well as it did. So yeah, I mean, like Brian said earlier, I mean, if you're not sure about mango coriander, or if you're not sure about pineapple spice, get them in 2 dram vials. And depending on the length of your beard, like before I cut my beard, I could probably drain one of those in one sitting, but now it's going to last me 6 months. But so you see, I'm saving money. I'm saving money on beard products by shaving, getting my beard off. But yeah, so buy the samples. They're I'm trying not to break the bank. So they're most of the new ones are $3.99. The older scents are $2.99. So just yeah, give it a try. And you know what? Honestly, if you don't like it, shoot me a message, and we can work something out.
There you go. Easy enough. Yeah, people are starting to put some of the scents from other collections that you did throughout the years that were good.
Yeah.
Scott Beach House and Spirit Guide was a good one. I kind of hate that one didn't make the All Star permanent list because it had to be close. It was such a good scent. Maybe just not enough people got it in their beards to try it.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, I was kind of disappointed in that one because I worked on that one for off and on for probably about a year, and I really dug it, but it just wasn't. It just hasn't sold, and it's on the permanent lineup now, but its future is shaky. So, um, but yeah, no, Spirit Guide was great for me, just personally. But it just, as with all things, damn Yankee, if they don't sell, they hit the road. So
All right. Anybody have any more questions here? Tommy said he just reached out to you on IG, so he'll get you all set up. I think he said he wanted to try that Ocho Rios. Yeah, what was
yeah,
glazed over?
I
That was the
just
pineapple ham one, wasn't it? Yeah, that's what that was.
um, yeah. Well, there was never any ham to it, but it was glazed over is similar to Ocho Rios,
Mm.
not Ocho Rios, Tepache, right?
Tapache,
So
yeah.
um, yeah, it's got the same pineapple in it that I used for glazed over. Glazed over was pineapple and clove, and
That was
the
it. It's the
biggest com-
clove.
yeah, the biggest complaint I got about glazed over was that I was a little heavy handed with the clove. Um, and so I thought it was a good idea as a seasonal. Anyway, we do things seasonally that we wouldn't normally do. So we get a little bit more experimental with the seasonal stuff.
What's
Um,
what's the smoked pineapple? I don't know
yeah,
which one you're
last
talking about.
summer we did one called Freaky Tiki that was a like kind of a pineapple campfire scent. That if I'm being honest, I think like Russ and maybe 2 other people got that, and that's about it.
Hmm.
So that one went away pretty quick. But I still want to do a smoky scent. I haven't quite figured out what that looks like yet, but we had one early on. We had a s'more scent early on. Um, that I don't know that I'll go back and revisit it, but I still want to do some kind of smoky scent.
Trevor likes the way you worked Palo Santo in with that spirit guide.
Palo Santo smells fantastic. I don't know why more people don't use it. Well, if you're using natural Palo Santo, you've got to be careful that it's been harvested in a sustainable way because they only have so many of those trees left. But Mine was a fragrance, so it came out of some faceless lab somewhere in a windowless building. But uh, Palo Santo smells fantastic. I don't know why more people don't use it, but I'll definitely be doing something else with it in the future.
Probably because it's so definitive, right? When you smell it, you know what you're smelling. I don't know if there's any way to
Um,
to blend that very well with other stuff. Maybe you've tried.
Yeah, and that's the case with a lot of, I told you earlier that I just pitched probably 50 or 60 little fragrance samples, like a couple of weeks ago, and again, that's the thing, right? I've got a ton of fragrances here in the office that smell great. They're, maybe if you want to make an air freshener, or if you want it to smell like laundry, they work great, but they just don't work for what we're doing here. And they don't, and like you said, they don't play well with others. That's the reason that I don't do leather a lot, because to me, leather immediately takes over whatever it's in.
I agree for the most part.
Yeah, and again, it's not that it smells bad. I mean, I love the smell of leather, but it doesn't blend well with other stuff. I was lucky early on to arrive at a blend with Papa's chair, that, something that kind of smoothed out the leather a little bit. And I've still got some leather here and there. Viking AF has leather. um, Bunkhouse has leather from that collection. So I do it from time to time, but very sparingly.
Ken wants you to do Palo Santo tobacco and coconut to smooth it out. I don't know. You got the coconut now to work with. I like your coconut you're using.
Yeah, yeah. That's not a bad idea. It's oh, hey, Nate's my buddy.
And and Russ, you can always reach out to Pete. Pete's one where if he's still got the stuff and can make something for you, I'm sure he will.
Yeah, so I've archived every scent that we've ever done, and so I've still got little bits and pieces of everything. And I get that request from time to time, to make something that's been discontinued. And just, if I can do it, I'll definitely do it. So don't be afraid to ask.
Nice, Judd. He just ordered 3 samples. I hope you find something you really like
Yeah,
and can
thanks
come
for
back.
that. I appreciate it. I
Yeah,
appreciate it.
got a couple new customers tonight. That's always good to see.
Yeah, it's as much as I love my regulars, and I've got about probably 20 or 30 guys who, I see their names regularly, and I thank you guys so much for staying with me. And a lot of those guys have been with me almost since the beginning. But I'm also happy to see somebody who orders for the first time. Some behind the scenes stuff that you may not know is that when you order, if you've ordered before, I can see how many times you've ordered. So when I see somebody placing their first order, it's always gratifying, right? Because they're interested enough to go on the website, make a purchase, and try it out, sight unseen. And so, I mean, that's a big deal, and because they're putting money out there, and especially now, working people in the economy that we have, if they're willing to spend a few bucks to try me out, that's a huge deal, and I'm super appreciative.
And that's another reason I take what I do pretty seriously, because I know guys, they come looking for me for suggestions. So I really try my best to steer them right and give them the best information I can, because it's really hard to describe scents over the internet. So
It
I do the
is.
best I can. And some guys, you find your reviewer that you like to vibe with, and you realize, hey, we kind of like similar things, or you trust what I say. So I definitely want to make sure to honor that and not
Yeah,
mess up that kind of relationship for sure.
absolutely. And I think it goes without saying that you're a trusted voice in the beard community, and you've been at this a while, and so I think people trust, what you have to say, and they should.
I remember that one, Scott, when you made that patchouli scent. It was nothing but patchouli. Your wife got mad at you.
Yeah, no, Mrs. Yankee is still has not wavered in her distaste for patchouli. Um, So yeah, you won't see every now and then I'll sneak some in there and not tell her about it. But she, yeah, she does not like patchouli at all. So yeah, I try to keep that to a minimum. But yeah, no, he ordered one a few years ago for a friend that was nothing but patchouli, and she was not happy with me. But
Mm-mm. Couple more little questions and comments here we'll go over, and
yeah,
then we'll end it here. But I don't remember
yeah.
Mosaic. Which one was Mosaic?
So we never released it. Um, Cam and I were working on something. This was probably 2020. I don't remember the exact year. I want to say 2020, but it was. I always struggle with Apple, right? And because I found it very difficult to find an apple scent that doesn't either smell like a pie, or B, some like granny perfume. It's I found one apple that's tolerable. I used it for pumpkin juice in the first Potter collection. I've also used it in Midway. That's the apple that's in Midway.
That's a good one.
So
Also,
pumpkin
there
juice
was
and
another
Midway.
apple scent you did the summer or the fall before the Potter one.
Yeah, there was one called Peaceful.
Was that
That
go along with
was
the Bountiful and the
yeah,
something
yeah, yeah.
one? Yeah, one of
Peaceful
them.
was like apple and cedar.
I like that one.
But so yeah, that's what Mosaic was. I don't remember exactly where we wound up with it, but I never released it because I didn't feel good about it, and I love Cam to death, and but it just didn't work out. It's on me. It's just because I couldn't really find an apple that didn't smell perfumey.
We had the
Um,
same issue when we tried a peach collab, didn't we?
yeah, I still have that same issue. I've been wanting to do a peach tea for you for a long time because I've got a tea that I really like. In fact, I just used it last fall, but I can't find a peach that smells real. It all smells like super perfumey to me. And
Mm-hmm.
you know the funny thing about it, and again, this is more like behind the scenes stuff. But the funny thing about doing this is that you can take two notes that smell amazing individually, and when you put them together, some kind of witchcraft happens, and it just smells awful. Like something happens when you combine them that just it's gone wrong somewhere, and it's just unusable. So I never quite know how it's going to turn out until you actually put it all together. But so I'm still looking for a peach that actually smells like a peach.
Nice. Keep my fingers crossed on that. Tommy won the giveaway, but he said he also placed an order for the summer sampler kit, so you can put
Oh,
his
nice.
winnings in
Okay,
with that. So thank you. So first time about that.
I appreciate that.
Pete wanted to know about the spruce that you use in your Viking scent.
Yeah, so it's one of my favorite things. I use it almost every Christmas, just because for my money, it's essential oil, right? So it's actual black spruce essential oil from Canada. And you know, you probably know. I don't know if you've ever seen how they extract essential oil. It's really kind of fascinating how they do it. But it works especially well on like conifers, right? Like pines and spruces and things like that. They take the branches and leaves and boil them down and distill the well, not distill, but they extract the essential oil from it. But anyway, it's black spruce essential oil from Canada, um, and I love it. I would bathe in it if it wouldn't burn my skin off. But yeah, I love spruce.
Yeah, I like it at Christmas time for sure.
Mm. Yeah,
Cold weather. Jason ordered this year for the first time for Damn Yankee.
yeah.
So cool. I remember he said he enjoyed the stuff he got. I can't remember which scents he told me he had. Yeah, some of that
I
cedar and apple and cranberry stuff sounds good.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm you'll see the same elements from me almost every fall and winter. I love cranberry. I love orange. I love orange and cranberry together. Um, I have been I've been considering like a mulled wine kind of scent for
I like
Christmas
that.
this year. Um, just kind of something fun and different, right? Because everybody does like everybody does Christmas tree scents and everybody does sugar cookie scents and all that kind of stuff. So I kind of wanted to do something different. But that's a few months down the road.
Yeah, right on, Patrick. That's why I like having the owners on here. You get to see their passion and kind of hear some behind the scenes stuff. So, Pete's definitely a good one to have on here. So, yeah, let me know
Yeah.
if you need any suggestions on what to try out. And thank you, Nate, for the comments there about the quality of the stream. I keep trying. I always keep trying to improve.
Yeah. So, I say this every time, every time Nate comes in, but Nate's my buddy. Nate lives maybe 15 minutes from me. So he's just one town over here in kind of the North Fort Worth area. But yeah, no, he's a good guy.
Very nice. Anything else before we go?
I think that's it.
All
I mean,
right.
as always, if you have any questions or anything, DM me on Instagram. That comes straight to my phone, and failing that, support at damnyankeebeard.com. Failing that, damnyankeebeard@gmail.com. Failing that, smoke signal. I don't know. Send me a letter. I'm not sure, but
Send me a message. I got the direct number
right.
too. If I need it, we need it if there's an emergency.
Right, absolutely. But and again, we're coming up on our 5th anniversary in a couple of weeks, so I'll probably do something for that. But I wanted to thank everybody. Like I said earlier, we've got like about 20 or 30 guys who order every time we came out. And I saw some of the names earlier as I've been getting notifications from the orders. But thank you to everybody who stayed with me for these 5 years. You've made it happen really from the beginning, and I'm so appreciative. And for the people who are just trying us out for the first time, hopefully you'll find a favorite in this collection and give us a shot. And I appreciate everything that you guys do.
Yeah, and make sure to check out the summer collection and also the copyright cowboy collection before they go away. And hopefully we'll
Yep.
get Pete back on here before the end of the year to do some more stuff. And as always, I appreciate you guys watching. We'll actually be back tomorrow night. We're going to do back-to-back before I go on vacation. So we'll be back with the Iowa Beard Company tomorrow night at 8 p.m. So I hope to see you guys there. And we'll see you. Hang on, Pete. I'll talk to you for just a second behind the scenes.
Oh, yeah.